Hi guys, it's Cannonleo here. Today I'm going to be unboxing probably one of my most fascinating mid-rangers of the year 2020-2021, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 9. I've had this device in my mind for a very long time and I was able to grab a build off the shelf today to spike up this review. In this video I'm going to be sharing my honest thoughts, analysis, pros and cons, throwing in a bit of comparison between this device and the previous build. Before we get into that, kindly hit the subscribe button down below and the bell notification icon by the side to be notified about new videos whenever they come. So without geeking time, let's go. The Redmi Note 9 comes in standard Xiaomi packaging. Unlike the Redmi Note 8 and the Note 8 series of last year, which box was slightly bigger, the Redmi Note 9 symbolizes a bit less in size and in stature than the Redmi Note 8. Here you have your standard Xiaomi inscription here by the left hand side, and then at the bottom here where you have all the specifications listed out, the Redmi, the 4GB RAM, 128GB ROM, which is the main features of the phone, alongside the color indicator, which is forest green. As well as the forest green, we have other colors, including the midnight gray and the polar white, which are the three variations of the Redmi Note 9 we have. So we're slightly going to unbox this device to see what exactly we have inside. So taking the top of the box, we are greeted with an envelope containing SIM card ejector, as well as the transparent silicone casing. Now, I need to actually make a point about transparent casing of most Xiaomi devices, minus the 10T Pro, which I've actually seen. Most of the cases are always prone to expansion after excessive use or use over time. So I would actually advise to invest in getting a separate armored case, or if you're careful enough with your device, the silicone case is going to actually work for you. We have a bunch of documentation here, including the user manual, user guide, and a warranty card, and that's just about it in the envelope. The device itself is the next feature. The wrap has been taken off anyway, but we are presented here with the slickest and smoothest of all Xiaomi devices, which is actually fascinating for me. I probably would say why it is fascinating for me is due to the fact that the glossy finish, which is actually made from polycarbonate material, that's normal plastic, and the camera setup, which is made in an almost slightly square formation at the back. I must point out that this phone is actually a fingerprint magnet, unlike the Redmi 9, which has an almost strong-like finish at the back. So you might have to invest in actually the silicone case, which I mentioned before, or getting another armored case, which is my preferred favorite. So we're going to look at the phone. At the front of the phone, we have this wonderful IPS LCD 1080p by 234 megapixel display, with a PPI density of 395 and a brightness of 450 nits, which in my own opinion doesn't really do good much in extreme sunlight. But hey, for a price of 89,000 naira, this phone is actually a big steal. And if you're not too invested in going outside, or if you're not too bothered about brightness, this phone actually performs practically well in high light situations, especially outside or under the sun. The colors on the Redmi Note 9 are very vivid entirely. The display also comes with Corning Gorilla Glass 5, which has been a staple feature of most Xiaomi devices starting from the Redmi Note 7 series. I just want to give you a feeling of the color scheme, which you can actually change as it fits, but I actually recommend that you leave it at auto, so it actually adjusts with the brightness as you use it from the sunlight. When we talk about the camera setup again, I also want to point out that this camera setup is a full-fledged 48MP main camera, 8MP ultra-wide, 2MP depth sensor, and a 2MP macro sensor behind, which is just way on top of the fingerprint sensor. The bezels on the screen are quite thin, unlike the Redmi 9, which has a bit of a larger bezel here. The bezels on the Redmi Note 9 are quite thin, allowing a more compact screen setup in front. The front camera has an OLED display on the right side here, unlike the Infinity V display of the other models, and is capped at 13 megapixel. The camera setup of the Redmi Note 9 can shoot videos up to 1080p at 30 frames per second, and zoom is up to 10x zoom in any direction, with the exception of the 48MP mode. Setting up the Xiaomi Redmi Note 9 took less than a minute 15 seconds, and you're greeted in the screen with MIUI 11.1, which is running on Android 10, And there's an actual update for MIUI 12.03, which is Xiaomi's latest MIUI, which I would update later for you all to see how it looks like. In front of you, I was greeted with punch-hole camera setup here instead of the infinity view, which is mostly the main feature of the Redmi Note 8 series. Here you have your earpiece headset at the top here, alongside with your proximity sensor inside of it. On the right side here, you have your volume rockers and your power button, which is quite punchy, noting the fact that I enabled Google Assistant alongside with the power button. So it has to be very punchy as well. On the left hand side there, you have your SIM ejector, which has an extra slot for your micro SD card. At the top here, you have your noise cancellation mic as it here, and probably one of the most novel features of most Xiaomi devices for a while now, the IR blaster or infrared blaster, for which you don't need to have a remote for anything around your home with it at all. At the bottom here, you have your button firing speaker, the USB Type-C port, as well as another microphone down here, and the 3.5mm jack. So that's about the front and the side. At the back here, you have your full camera setup like I mentioned earlier, which is enclosed in that nice looking square curves feature at the back in the middle of it, and your fingerprint sensor, which is quite soft to touch. Below that, you have your Xiaomi inscription or insignia below, and as well as accompanying place sticker, which I actually do remove. Actually don't know why I don't like the sticker. That's about the device. Inside of the box, you still have a coating covering the phone, separating it from the dock, and then you have your 22 watts fast charging brick. And surprise, surprise, this is the place where I'm actually very cynical about this device, the fact that you have a USB Type-C port. So it means that I don't actually have to share my Type-C or actually share my USB port with anybody in the office. Like they say, while I be like Type-C, they have to share. So that's about everything in the box. From there, we'll talk about performance. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 9, powered by a MediaTek Helio G85 processor built on a 12nm chipset. It also comes alongside the Mali G52 MC2 GPU, making graphics and gaming a very easy prospect. The device is very easy, there are actually no lags, and this is the 128 4GB version, which I also recommend that you go for whenever you get the device. It's actually the 64 3GB version, and as well as the 256 6GB version, which is not really in country. So basically the version you find in the market is the 128 4GB version. Performance on this device is actually smooth. I didn't find out any lags. Transitions was nice, especially when you're actually very new to MIUI, and the device responded to touch at every point in time. Opening up applications was snappy, and you would absolutely find no issues with using this device at all. Camera quality on this device is actually very superb. Looking at setups here, talking about the short video, slow motion, the video itself, the photo mode, the 48MP megapixel, which has no zoom. You have the portrait mode, which takes quite good pictures in low light, as well as the night mode, which I will actually have to come in here at this point, that it actually does take good pictures at night, but you still need a bit of lighting. So photo quality here is actually quite dependent on lighting, but it's actually very good, especially in daytime as well as night, with the flash doing the job of illuminating the entire area. There is a little bit of contrast, however, in most of the pictures actually taken, especially at low light situations, but overall quality of the pictures are actually very good, like scene denoted. And you have your watermark as well as indicated there. You have the full Android setup, and I've already done a bit of setup on the phone, including changing the gestures. And I just want to point out what I meant about the power button being punchy, in the sense that when I'm trying to turn up the device, actually holding the device pops up the Google Assistant, of which I've not logged in yet as part of the first time user. All setup and all applications open. There's good RAM management, in the sense that most apps, a lot of apps, as much as 6 to 7 apps can stay in the background running till you actually want it. The FM radio doesn't need the headphones to actually connect, as it's done wirelessly, as well as other parts of it. Basically, I am much more interested in performance as an individual. As a gamer, with the Mali 52 GMP, I play games like Call of Duty and PUBG at medium to high frame rates and in high to medium graphics in many situations. I also do not face issues when it comes to consistent day-to-day usage. The sound quality of the Redmi Note 9 is actually very nice. The highs are actually very good. I just want to play a sound for you to just gauge. So as you can see from the sound here, the lows are quite visible, the highs are quite known, and playing sound from other Xiaomi devices as well as this device gives you that good feel punchy finish as you get it from the sound. So basically that's all about this device that actually intrigues me a lot, from the performance to the display. I also forgot to tell you that this is from phone capsule at 299 grams in terms of weight, so I actually do not feel that difference when I pick up the device and hold it in my hands. It is firm to hold. Alright, hold on guys. Did I forget to tell you that the Xiaomi Redmi Note 9 comes in with a huge 5020 mAh battery, capable of taking the device for about 2 to 3 days of minimum usage and about a day and a half of heavy usage, or that the 22-watt fast charging brick can juice up the battery from 0 to 100% in about 2 hours. Now you know. So kindly tell me what you think about this device in the comment section below, and I would really love it if you actually hit the subscribe button and click on the bell notification icon to be notified about new videos when they come in. So thank you guys, have an amazing day.